Top 5 mistakes you might be making in Watcher of Realms. Guys, this is Greg, and let's go ahead and get into it. I want to go over this is not necessarily the top 5, but just a number of things that I know that people have made mistakes on. I've made mistakes on. Some folks are still making mistakes on. So it's not necessarily beginner, but it is probably mostly geared toward beginners. And hopefully this just might give you a little nugget of information. Might be a little bit more than 5. So let's go ahead and get into it. Number 1, make sure you progress in the campaign as fast as possible. Do not spend time farming stuff as you unlock it. Let's say you unlock XP raid, you unlock the first couple stages. Do not sit here and try to max out your heroes. Just level them up as you go. If you get stuck, that's when you go back and do a little bit of farming. Do just enough until you're not stuck anymore, then keep progressing. Why is that? It's because as you progress through the campaign, you're unlocking everything. So number 1, like key thing here, I'm just going to point out, because you do want to actually get further than chapter 8 here. You want to get into, you want to progress through hard too. You want to unlock the Pantheon, but more so you want to get to XP raid 8-4. This is on normal 8-4. This will unlock the best XP rate. That's what the one you want to actually farm. So try to hold off on spending too much stamina on XP farming until you get there. And then you want to keep progressing in the campaign. I'm sorry I don't have the exact numbers, but you want to unlock the Pantheon. So you want to be able to see this dragon dude up here, because at that point most other stuff is unlocked, and it will unlock the faction trial, which you have 3 attempts per day to use. You want to make sure you're using them each day, maximizing what you're getting into your Pantheon, because these are overall stat boosts for your entire account, everywhere in your account. So as you can see at this point, maybe a month into the game, we're at a 7.5% attack boost, 13% HP boost. So you want to be able to get these as soon as possible. Number 2, focus on a core group of heroes. And this core group is going to change as you progress. Obviously, you don't want to take my account too much for it. There's people that are not going to progress as far in my period of time, but you want to make sure you focus on a core group of heroes. Everyone is going to start with Voltus, Camille, and Rex as like your core 3, your mage, your DPS, and your defender. You're going to add in a fighter. You can probably start with Borat, and marksman, you'll start with Maureen, and then you'll get your first epic marksman pool, and you will want to focus on whoever you get for your epic marksman pool. Preferably, hopefully you get Toriel or Brienne. Those are the better ones. If you get Taziria, she's not so good, but it's still going to be better for you early game. But I would try to switch off of her if you get a pool for someone a little bit better. So focus on that core team, like one of each class that you're pouring most of your resources into, because you're not necessarily farming those resources right then. Do just what you need to get through the stages. You might get to the point where you need two defenders or something like that. Then you go ahead and bring someone else up. Don't focus too much on the rares, but there are some rares that are good. Look for some guides on them. I can't go into everything in this video. There are some good rares, especially early game, to carry you through. In terms of upgrading on these, Voltus probably would be your primary one to really put resources into, and whatever epic marksman you get, because this is going to be your primary DPS until you get an epic mage or a legendary mage. You really want to make sure you get your mages up, and Voltus is not going to kill you if you're taking a 5-star. I don't know if I necessarily taking the 6-star, but at the end of the day, if you are lacking in other mages, then that might be what you have to do. So anyway, focus on that core team. Don't spread your resources out too thin. That's the key thing there. Don't spread your resources too thin. Number 3, people are managing their heroes wrong. First and foremost, never use 5-star or 4 stars for fodder. And yes, this guide would be different for whales. Whales, just throw this out the window. Do whatever the heck you want to do. I don't really care. But otherwise, if you are free to play or light spender, you do not want to sell these heroes for gold. Do not sell these heroes for gold. You're going to use these for leveling up and tiering them up for your food to feed your 5 stars, 4 stars, even a few 3 stars. You're going to use these for food. Do not sell them. Your 3-star heroes, do not use these for food. Do not use the blue rare 3-star heroes for food. First and foremost, save what you need to save. There are fusions. Make sure you figure out what you need for fusions. I'm not going to go into fusions for this video. Save what you need, but then you're going to sell the rest for diamonds. So any extra blue rare heroes you get, you're going to sell for diamonds. It's going to help you feed your diamond fund. Do some pulls early game, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So 3-star rare heroes, do not use these for food. I made this mistake early on. I wasted probably maybe 1,000 plus gems or diamonds feeding 3-star. Might have been a little bit more than that. Might have been like 2,000. I missed out on because I fed these to level up other heroes. Man, don't do it. Don't do it. All right, number 4. Do not willy-nilly upgrade your gear. You don't gold is a valuable resource, and it might seem like you get a decent chunk early on. Upgrading to like 4, 8, and 12 is not too bad. When it comes to upgrading to 16, it really starts sucking your gold dry. There was an early event when the global first launched where people got a ton of gold. I got a ton of gold. I wasted every last bit of it, honestly. I mean, I maybe upgraded a few good pieces, but for the most part, I wasted the heck out of it. Yes, there are some pieces like you get your bonus stat pieces. You upgrade them, and you might want to take them to 16 to get the full main stat out of them. You're only going to do that on a handful of heroes, your core team, and just try to avoid it. Try to get good substats, and if you don't have good substats, then don't upgrade it. Just don't. Just take it to 12 or 8, whatever you need to get by. Scrape by until you get something that's worth upgrading. Do not just go upgrading gear. It is not worth it. Please, 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 please. Do not waste your gold. That is a key piece of information here. Now, hopefully, they're gonna adjust it by the time maybe you're watching this a month after I put it out, and maybe it's better. They said there's a gold event coming. Hopefully, it's really good. But for the most part, at least at the state of the game right now, gold is hard to come by. You do not want to have to keep farming gold because it's a waste of your stamina. Eventually, you'll be farming enough mythic gear that it'll balance out your spending on what you're upgrading, because you're going to be throwing out a lot of it. But you kind of get more into the whale territory there. They're using a ton of stamina, and they have that gear to sell. But we'll talk about how you might be able to do that a little bit later. So that's gear upgrading. Number 5. And so we got some bonus ones here. But number 5 here. Do not waste your awakening stones and skill stones. The rares, doesn't really matter too much. You'll get plenty of them. But on your epic heroes, if you go to awakening, there are generic awakening stones. So there's one thing, you get a dupe, and then use your dupe to awaken, and then you'll get free food. Otherwise, you'll get a lot of these from Tide. And not a lot, let me not say a lot. You'll get a decent amount of these, but save them for the important heroes. Do not just shove these into anybody. First and foremost, you still have the opportunity to get dupes as you're pulling, but there are a number of key heroes that can really benefit from them. I feel like I kind of wasted putting some into my Iona, because Iona eventually got replaced by like Comet and Vienna, so I don't really use my Iona much anymore. So I feel like I kind of wasted those awakening stones. I could have just held on to them. It didn't really push me any further. So unless it's going to push you in content, don't do it. Don't do it. Just wait. Be patient. So there are some key heroes here. Look up some videos on that. And I'll probably put out a video on the epic heroes to awaken. But do your research. We're not going to cover all that in here, but do not waste them is the key thing. Same thing on skills. These, even though it doesn't feel like it early on, these crystals become very hard to come by. So you'll end up with a surplus of dust eventually. Even though it doesn't feel like that early game, that's how it's going to happen. Do not take these for granted. If you can get them somehow, go ahead and get them. I actually got one of each legendary and epic from Guild Boss before recording this, and I was actually quite happy because I know that eventually they're going to run out. I'm trying to think if see, I'm running low on my legendary already. So yes, do not just shove these into anybody. pick and choose who you're going to give your crystals to. Make sure it's a hero that you're using a lot, and make sure you're targeting certain things. Like, okay, like Wrath, I really want to actually, like, why use any more crystals to get 10% more damage? I mean, yeah, you want the 10% more damage, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna waste the crystals right now. I mean, Wrath. Okay, Wrath's not a good example. He's really good. I will probably max him out, but in most cases, if you have like one or two left, you're not necessarily gonna go for this. You want to go for things that's gonna like reduce your skill cost, reduce your cooldowns. There's a lot of ultimates you really want to max, and a lot of priorities. Go for those. So do not waste your skill crystals and awakening stones. Number 6, summoning. Now, like I said, if you're a whale, throw this out the window. Do what you want to do. If you're free to play, light spender, do not summon on a 10 times event unless it also has a 2 times tied into it. Now, they will run them at the same time on separate banners, but if you click on one of these and it says 10 times and 2 times, okay, go for it. If it's good hero unique, go for it. But for the most part, statistically speaking, it's going to be better if you summon on 2 times events. It just is. I mean, the math is there. That being said, people have different RNG. Some people feel like, oh, I did better on my 10 times. What? Okay, whatever. Do what you want to do. But statistically speaking, it's going to be better if you save your stones, save your diamonds to summon during 2 times events. I don't want to go too deep into this, but I will make a separate video on pity. But just know the pity is tied to the color of the stone. So this and this have the same pity. There are also event pities to make it more complex, and this is not tied to anything else. And this will actually go away when the event ends. So, but the pity for the blue stones and the divine stones are tied together, and they'll carry through whatever banner pops up here. So if you hit like pities at 200 for the blue, if you're at 199 and a new banner comes out, 10 times banner, you hit 200, then you're at pity. Now, you're not guaranteed to get the hero until 220, or guaranteed to get a legendary until 220. But you are at that point. All right, last but not least, so this is bonus number 7. Save some diamonds for stamina. And early game, yes, you can do some pulls, use your diamonds for summoning, build up your roster, but get yourself in the mindset that you're going to want to use diamonds for stamina. So many people have not said that, and I think even people that have been playing since global launch are not getting into that mindset of, okay, I actually need to start using diamonds for stamina. You can buy it every time, buy stamina anytime you see it on the shop, except for like the little 20 diamond small stamina potion. I don't think that's worth it. All the other stamina potions on here are worth it, and the little like I think 100 pop of stamina, I believe is worth it as well. I usually buy those anytime I see them on here, and I always use my free refreshes. So do that. This shop refreshes every hour on the hour. If you have the opportunity to check it, just check it. You always want to grab stamina from here. It is the cheapest. Finally, you will get to the point where you should still have enough diamonds and you're not seeing enough stamina on there. You buy some stamina from here. This is how you're going to progress as you get to mid and late game. You're going to need to farm a lot of gear to get good pieces. Eventually you need to farm artifacts. Farm is going to be the name of the game. So get in that mindset. Try not to get sucked into the banners. Don't waste all your gems. I mean, I still do it. I get sucked into it. I want the hero. I didn't even get my arrogance this past weekend when it came out. I didn't actually haven't got anything yet. Haven't got anything. And boy, I got that FOMO bad. But don't do it. Just don't do it. Just save some diamonds. Spend on stamina. Heck, even if you in the middle of the week, you're not summoning, you got some diamonds sitting there, go ahead and buy yourself a few stamina potions here and there just to stack them up. Save them up. Just do it. You'll thank me later. Just do it. You'll need a lot of stamina. All right. So that's it, guys. I know that was quite a bit. Hopefully those 7 tips help you out. I probably missed, there's plenty of stuff I also missed, man. We'll do some follow-up videos, and if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. Anything you want to see a video on, let me know. Guys, I hope these tips are helping you out. If they are, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. I'll catch you in the next video.